I want to quickly talk to you about Everest business funding. And the big question is, should you trust this business lender this year for your business loans, for your business lines of credit, and other types of business funding arrangements? So let's first talk about what is the company all about. What is Everest business funding this year? What should you really remember? Well, when you think about Everest business funding, I want you to think about a lender that specializes in MCAs. Okay, so they offer a merchant cash advance primarily. Sometimes they might offer a business funding, but they focus a lot on MCAs. Okay, and so basically, an MCA can give you access, actually fast access to working capital. So the only thing is, merchant cash advances are an expensive way to borrow money, but the company offers low qualifications, simple applications, and quick funding. So you have the possibility to actually get cash real fast. Okay, so if you are in need if you're in need of fast cash and you want to really fund your business pretty quickly, Everest Business Funding can really help you with MCAs. So the company was actually was founded about 10 years ago, and they're based in Florida. Okay, and their business loans are available in all 50 states. So that's kind of cool. Doesn't matter where you are at, you can still qualify for an Everest Business Funding loan. And the company has a 95% approval rate because merchant cash advances are one of the most accessible funding options in the industry in the economy nowadays. Okay, and Everest works with businesses across various industries. Okay, but one thing we have seen is that they tend to specialize in some core sectors like seasonal companies. You have food and beverage. They love food and beverage. They love the service industry. They love retail. They love trade, and they love healthcare. Now, this doesn't mean that if you're not in those six top niches, you can get a loan, you can get business funding through Everest. It just means that they have more experience funding funding businesses in those sectors. So, how does Everest business funding work? Like I said, if you think about Everest business funding, all you need to think about primarily is MCA. Like I said, they do give you from time to time other forms of business funding, but primarily they are focused on merchant cash advances. So basically, with an MCA, you receive a large sum upfront and repay it with a percentage of your future sales. So that's what's called revenue-based financing. So Everest Business Funding actually focuses on revenue-based financing across the board. And so here are the company's MCA features. So the amount you're looking at 5,000 all the way to $1 million. So Everest Business Funding can really fund you real fast by giving you a maximum loan amount of $1 million. In terms of loan terms, you are looking at 2 to 12 months. Okay, remember that you are paying an MCA with a percentage of your future sales, but the repayment window that Everest wants to set is maximum 1 year. So loan terms from 2 months all the way to 12 months, and the factor rate go from 1.2 to 1.5. So you're looking at 20% all the way to 50% of the amount advanced. Okay, so the amount you receive is usually based on your average sales over the previous 3 months. They don't look at 6 months, they don't look at 9 months, they don't look at 1 year. They look at only the previous quarter. Okay, and repayment is typically daily via an ACH transfer from your business bank account or your credit card and debit card sales processor. So they don't do weekly, they don't do monthly payment. They do it daily, daily. So you pay the same amount of interest whether you pay it off early or not. Okay, this is something to really consider. This is actually the case with all MCA providers, though. Okay, so multiply the amount you borrow by the factor rate to determine how much interest you owe. For example, if you receive an MCA of $250,000 at the 1.25 factor rate, the formula will be $250,000 times 1.25. That's 312 500. So you would pay 62.5, $62,500 interest to borrow $250,000. Okay. But again, this is not even about the repayment window. It's not about a year, or it can be 2 years, 1 year, it can be 6 months. You pay the same amount of money. That's why an MCA can be a very expensive route to acquire revenue, but it's the fastest anyway. So if you think about Everest business funding, what are the qualifications for you to actually get the loan that you need right now? One thing I want to say here is that I want to insist on the fact that applicants have a 95% approval rate. So if you go to Everest Business Funding, chances are you are going to be approved. Now you might not like the terms and conditions or even the factor rate they're charging you, but that's another story for another day, right? Another question for another day. So if your personal credit score is around 400 to 500 minimum, Everest Business Funding will approve you, not a problem. But you got to have at least 3 months of operational history under your belt. So you got to be in business for at least 3 months and revenue at least $10,000 per month. Okay, this is important. So this means what? It means that even if you are a startup, you can still qualify for funding at Everest. Okay, because they look at time in business minimum 3 months. So if you're a brand new business, just wait a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then apply for business funding at Everest. So for Everest, the business funding, you also need to know that you would essentially be paying a premium for, let's say, the convenience of quick and easy business funding, right? It's if you think about it, 95% approval rate. That's pretty high. So the qualifications are much lower, and it's possible to get funding within 24 hours of approval. Okay, but the rates and additional fees are much higher than other small business loans. As long as you're willing to stomach that higher amount, that's kind of fine. Now, the company's website doesn't provide much detail on additional cost, but basically, we've done some investigation, we've done some research, and we found that Everest MCA product carries an origination fee between 199, so $200, all the way to 2,900, so $200 all the way to $2,900. That's a lot. So, I mean, you can say that basically this lack of transparency around pricing could be problematic for some industries, and they will be right. But as long as you're able to get funding, that shouldn't be a problem. How much they're charging you. So how do you apply for funding at Everest Business Funding? So basically, the application process is pretty simple. Okay, you actually you want to complete the online application. So they have, I mean, their website is not the most updated. It's not the best in terms of user friendliness. Okay, for me, after doing research, their website looks old. But hey, listen, this is another topic for another day. Okay, nowadays you just want to have a working website, right? So you want to apply through the company's website. So you got to really provide your name, your email, your business name, and address. And you need to identify your requested amount, how soon you need the money, and your monthly revenue. So those are things that they want to see from you. How soon you need the how soon you need the money. And so once you actually send them that info, somebody will call you. They will review your application, and somebody will contact you. So they do not allow you to go through the process like relying on their algorithm. Somebody will talk to you first. Okay, so you got to speak to a representative, and they'll contact you to review your request and send a preliminary offer. You will provide the previous 3 months business bank statements to verify your identity and cash flow. And so once you send that, it will take another day or two for them to review things further. Okay. And so after that, if you are approved, the company will send you a final offer with a borrowing amount, rates, fees, and terms. And if you accept, you can get your funds in as little as 24 months. Like I said, Everest actually has a 95% approval rate. So chances are you will be approved, okay? So this is important. Now, post funding, once you get the cash, remember that you are actually having daily payments. Okay, so they will set up an ACH to withdraw the money from your account every single day, every single working day. So the funds will be withdrawn from your business bank account or card processor. It will be a percentage of your daily sales. So the amount you pay fluctuates with your revenue. And so this is an important, it's an important element to think about. And some people have said that Everest has a minimum withdrawal. This could be 1% of the amount that comes into the account, like the cash inflow. So yeah, 1 to 2% minimum. So if you think about Everest business funding this year, what are the advantages, the big advantages to consider if you were to really choose them? The thing is, for us, after doing analysis, my team and I, the most important element here is the very high 95% very high rate of approval. Think about it. What kind of business funding can give you that much rate of approval? That's kind of high. That's really, really high. So even if you have a low credit score, if you have a low FICO score, or you have been in business for less time than expected. Let's say you've been in business for 3 months, you can still qualify. You can still be approved. Okay, so this is a big advantage over traditional lenders. And also, applying is very simple. So you can get your funds within 24 hours of approval. So this is kind of cool. That speed of funding is a big it's a big investment. It's a big reward if you were to ask me. You can use the funds to cover expenses, refinance debts, and more. So that's for the advantages of Everest business funding. What about the disadvantages? Well, the cost is the number one drawback, the number one major drawback. Okay, I mean, all merchant cash advances are expensive, don't get me wrong, and Everest is no exception. Okay, think about it. I told you a little earlier, the interest, like if you calculate the interest through the factor rate, you're looking at 25% all the way to 50%. That's kind of high. So the company also charges an origination fee of as much as $2,900. That's pretty high, also $2,900. So and it doesn't publish information on fees though, which makes it challenging to get a complete picture of the cost. Okay, but one thing for sure, factor rates with short terms and daily payments can stifle your company's cash flow. So ensure you can handle the repayment structure before agreeing to an MCA. So what are the pros and cons here? If you think about Everest business funding, what kind of pros should you really think about? What kind of cons can you really think about also? You have a fast access to working capital. So something that could really push you to really contact Everest is the fact that you can have a fast access to working capital. You have a high approval rate and you have an easy application with minimal documentation, right? Because they care more about your revenue. This is revenue based financing. So as long as you can really navigate the revenue side of things and really show them that you are legit, that you are reliable. I mean, Everest business funding is pretty solid. It's pretty comfortable doing business with you. So on the flip side, if you think about this lender, okay, you have to understand that the short repayment terms with daily payments required can actually disrupt your cash flow, your cash inflows and cash outflows, especially if you are asking for a large MCA amount. And you also have a lack of transparency or detail on the company's website. Okay, so this is something that could really also throw you into skelter, also throw you off skelter as well. You do have, of course, I've already spoken about the potentially high origination fees. That's really a lot. If you think about how much they're charging you, that's really a lot. That's really really huge, especially if you are trying to if you're trying to really get your business off the ground. Having to pay that much is really it's crazy high. But hey, listen, If you need money and they're willing to give you that money and you're willing to pay for it, why not? So, other things I have to say before closing today's conversation include the fact that overall, Everest Business Funding is legit, right? They've been in business for the last 10 years, as of the date of this show. So that's really cool. I mean, more than 10 years, by the way. They're based in Florida. Okay, this is a regulated company, so they're licensed in all 50 states to do business. Okay, so this is a legitimate merchant cash advance company. And basically, one thing you have to understand here is that people love the fact that they have excellent customer service, approval rate, and the speed of loan funding. Okay. But in terms of negative reviews, some people don't like the fact that they are very expensive. They're very expensive, and their business model may put a strain on your cash flow. Okay. So just be aware that even though I said there is a high approval rate, 95%, there is always the possibility that you may not be approved, right? Because there is also, you'll still have the 5% of folks who are not approved when they actually go through Everest business funding. So most businesses that apply will be approved, but there's no guarantee. So if you received a denial letter, please read through the letter and try to understand why they denied you in the first place. You can contact the company for more information if needed. Okay, they're available online, they're available on the phone, and they will explain to you why they denied your application in the first place. So if Everest denied you, or if you don't feel like it's a good fit for you, there are plenty of small business lenders to consider. You shouldn't have trouble finding a merchant cash advance provider. So that's really important. Now, if you are looking for a more advantageous finance option than an MCA, you can consider bad credit business loans, for example. You can consider business term loans, business lines of credit, business like equipment financing, SBA loans, invoice factoring, or revenue based financing. So that can really help you big time, okay? But overall, when it comes to making your decision, I should just say that Everest Business Funding is best suited for your business if you are an owner with low credit score and you need fast funding. So you can actually access up to $1 million in working capital in just a few days, but it will cost you. So if you are an established business with good credit and solid revenue, you can find lower cost financing options. Okay, the speed might be tempting, but some lenders offer a fast funding process for less costly loans. So this is something to really think about. So as a coda in today's conversation, I spoke to you about Everest Business Funding. I spoke about what the company is, what they do, how to apply, what are the pros and cons. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.